You are now listening to the Inner Circle Podcast Network.
Hashtag No Offense uses strong language and is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. Hashtag No Offense.
Welcome back to another episode of Hashtag No Offense. My name is Chris, joined as always by the beautiful Duchess.
Hello.
We are coming at you on an early morning show this week. We're going on vacation this week. I'm excited.
Hells yeah.
But we can't leave you without an episode. We're going to bang this out. We're going to be joined today by the lovely, deliciously sinful Southern seduction Kara.
Yep.
I'm excited
It
about
is Kara.
It is Kara.
Mm-hmm. We
Riley,
verified.
Yeah, suck it, Riley.
Literally.
We're just going to get the ad reads out of the way, get some sponsor recognition, and then we will get right into the meat of it. This episode and every episode of the Hashtag No Offense show is sponsored by Hemp Bombs CBD. Hemp Bombs are specifically formulated to provide consumers with a quality CBD product at an affordable price. Hemp Bombs contain 99% pure CBD isolate with 0% THC and are legal in all 50 states. The many benefits of Hemp Bombs include reduced anxiety, increased sense of relaxation, reduction of aches and pains,
Check.
mood enhancement, and deeper, more restful sleep.
Check.
Dude, I'm going to combine my relaxation, and I'm going to take my gummies with us on vacation.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to eat gummies and be relaxed and get that vacation sleep, and I might not wake up tomorrow.
I need you.
Thanks. But wow, that was heartfelt. Hemp Bombs come in a variety of products, including oils and e-liquids, gummies and suckers, capsule syrup, and even products for your pet. So do yourself a favor and check out hempbombs.com. Use code HTNOS to save 20% on your entire order. That's HTNOS at hempbombs.com.
I want to try to play this harmonica for you.
That is random as fuck. Who the fuck are you, Bojangle Jackson? What fucking?
That's all I got.
Where did you pull the harmonica out of? Like, are you a fucking 18th century hobo?
Logan had to
Are
play.
you riding in boxcars?
I am a hobo.
Where's your fucking whiskey jug? Can you play the whiskey jug? You got a big ceramic jug that just says XXX on it you could blow in?
I might.
All right.
It's so cool.
All right.
It's way better than those ones you used to get from the dollar store.
Stupid.
Table harmonica.
Stupid.
It's a conversation piece.
Stop it. Stupid, man. All right.
All right, I'm done.
We are also sponsored by Onnit.com.
I'm on it.
Onnit is a health and fitness juggernaut dedicated to delivering total human optimization to its vast customer base of athletes, thinkers, fitness gurus, and entrepreneurs.
Word.
I never read the Onnit read word for word just because it sounds kind of weird. And I mean, I'm not throwing any smoke at Onnit because I love Onnit and they're a great company and they got great products that I use myself. I'm a big proponent of the Alpha Brain. It's been doing wonders for me. They've got all kinds of great stuff and it just doesn't do it much justice with this read that I was sent. So I'm going to condense it. Go to onnit.com/HTNOS, save 10%. They've got all kinds of vitamins for your brain. They've got shit for your mind, for your body, for your soul. Get optimized, get your chakras in order, open that third eye, and astral project out to the Saturn fucking time cube. Coming next week. Stay tuned.
My whispering eye.
That's onnit.com/HTNOS. Save 10% on your entire order. Do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
I know you're probably thinking it's woohoo, or not woohoo. It's a lot of woo-woo fucking, oh, I need nootropics. They're vitamins for my brain. They're going to make me smart. Yeah, they fucking will. They fucking will. I promise.
They make you think
100%.
sharper.
I endorse it.
It's just like quickness. It's more quickness. It's like sharper thinking.
Just a half step. And I mean, all you athletes know, I mean, a half step makes all the difference. The difference in scoring that touchdown or fucking falling on your ass.
Yep. Get pumped up with Onnit and then relax with Hemp Bombs.
It's all synergistic. It's all synergistic. Everything goes together. You know, and
what goes up must come down.
I can't do it with you today.
It's the afternoon.
Listen, for the first time since like episode 30, we're not going to have Florida stories.
Yeah, because
Florida's checking out today.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you right now, Florida's not sponsored by Ohfishl Clothing this week. The entire fucking episode is sponsored by Ohfishl Clothing. And I mean, every week the entire episode is sponsored by Ohfishl Clothing, but I just try not to load it down. I try not to load it down, that's all.
Circles up?
I just try not to load it down. Yeah. Ohfishl Clothing is OHFISHL, ohfishl.com. Use code HTNOS. Save 25% off your whole order of beautiful t-shirts, hats, and jewelry. So many great designs, so many comfortable t-shirts. The homie Kaz from the Hood Diner is putting his hard work, his blood, sweat, and tears into each and every shirt. And I, for one, would rather pay him and support my homeboy than buying my t-shirts anywhere else. So my entire wardrobe is outfitted by Ohfishl.
It really is.
It really is. I wear Ohfishl.
All 6 shirts that you have, that's all you wear.
Every day of the week.
Yep.
I always wear Ohfishl shirts. I love them. So
I like mine too. I like my titty
too.
shirts.
Yes, titty shirts now here. They're
Hashtag
not
titties
soon
up.
Ohfishl Clothing, live by your own rules. So without further ado, we are joined by the lovely, beautiful, seductive Simply Kara.
It's southernly seductive.
Yeah, it's all those things.
Okay.
Welcome back to another episode of the Hashtag No Offense Show. We are joined this morning by the lovely Kara from Night Flirt. Say what's up, Kara.
Hi, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Awesome.
So glad that we were finally able to work this out. This has been kind of a long time coming. We've been trying to get our schedules to line up and everything. And
we had to take vacation to
I
get
didn't
you.
know if it was going to work or not, so I'm glad that we both had the mornings free.
yeah, we took a little vacation this week. We're actually going on a weekend trip this afternoon, so we had the morning free and figured let's bang it out, as it were, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
So I guess we'll get right into it. Why don't you go ahead and tell us exactly what it is that you do? Because I had, everybody is so worried about like labels and like what what we refer to people as or whatever. Like is phone sex operator the actual like the proper vernacular here, or am I like living in the Stone Age?
That's actually a very legitimate question. I'm actually probably not like the most experienced out there, so I'm actually really honored to be asked to be interviewed and be on your show. So thank you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Now I've only been at this about a year, just a little bit over a year, and I really haven't taken it seriously until, except for maybe the last 6 months or so. So it is a phone sex operator. That's what I am.
Okay.
We go by the, I guess, acronym PSO.
Nice.
Duh, phone sex operator.
That makes sense.
But what's so funny is that there's this huge, I didn't realize how big the industry is for phone sex. I actually joined another site, which I'm not going to say because, I love Night Flirt so much. And I don't want to badmouth any other sites. But I started out probably a little over a year and a half ago on another site, and I just tried that for a few months, and it was okay, but they really just do not pay the phone sex operators very well.
You could say the talent. They don't pay the talent.
Yeah, they don't pay the talent.
Yeah.
They pay better. This particular site paid better than any of the other sites I've seen out there. I am a researcher. I'm actually a teacher.
Nice.
A high school teacher. And a mom.
You're just building the fantasy up even more now.
So, we're going to see you in the...
We'll get into that. But, so yeah, I did my research. Before I ever, particularly joined a site, I wanted to find the best one, legitimate. I didn't want to be played but when it all started, I didn't think that it was real. Like, I was like, I didn't think people still did phone sex.
Right.
I remember the 1-900 numbers, when I was a kid and in my teens and stuff, and I remember that, the late night things. But for some reason in my mind, I was thinking that it was like, I was picturing like all just nothing but like foreign national, like overseas, like sweatshop kind of thing. I know it's crazy, but I just wasn't, I guess I wasn't thinking of it as a normal thing to do, and that guys would even pay for that because of the internet and the easy access to porn. Not to give away my age, but I am over 35.
That's
And okay,
That's his
I'm
wheelhouse.
almost 40. I'm almost 40. I'll own it. I'll own it.
Hashtag me too.
I'm almost 40. And so as, when we were growing up, when I guess we're around the same age, and, remember it was payphones, and maybe one friend had a computer, and they only had like a couple games on there, and you couldn't touch it. I mean, that's how it was for me anyway.
Yeah. No, we were just talking about this recently. That's funny.
I mean, I didn't have my first computer until 2005, and I am self-taught everything, and I'm actually pretty good on it. I'm gonna toot my own horn. I'm pretty good at the technology and stuff. I don't know. I just learned. I taught myself how to code, and I'm still learning. But so, anyways, back in the day, if you wanted to access to porn, you had to go to the video store and
go through the beaded room.
Yeah, those saloon
go
doors.
through that back room. Yeah.
18 and up.
And so now it's so accessible. And so I don't know. I just didn't realize that phone sex was a thing. Just to clarify, I am a phone sex operator. It is a real thing, and it is a very, very big business for both men and women. There's a lot of guy phone sex operators out there.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And so I tend to ramble. So if you ever just need to stop me, do that.
No, it's fine. I was going to ask, when you were looking to maybe make some extra income, is this something that you decided to do, or did you get like one of those emails that say like work from home, it's great, and then it was on the list?
Okay, I feel terrible, but what is your name?
Oh, Melissa.
Melissa,
I
just know
Duchess.
your Twitter handles.
Oh, Diddlebug? I'm Diddlebug right now.
Yeah, and your husband is Chris, right? And I only know that because it says it on Twitter, right?
Yes.
Okay, there, I got
Chris
it.
and
Okay.
the Duchess. We
So,
should
Melissa,
rebrand a little bit. Well, Melissa's government name.
Well, that's
she's
my
got
name.
warrants out. We don't want to use.
Warrants.
We don't want to use
Warrants
government
for
names.
being awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. I like you, Melissa.
I like you.
Okay, so ask me the question again, because I just had a total blonde moment.
That's okay. I was asking, is this something that you knew you wanted to do? Like, were you just looking to make extra income? Or, like, did you get an email that says, like, work from home, and this was on the list for work from home jobs? Or how'd you fall into it?
This is interesting. I've actually been working from home as an extra income because, as teachers, we don't make that great money. And I actually work for a very small school, and I've always been part-time because I have a family, and I try to be there for them. And which is crazy that I'm even doing this interview, but it's okay, So I have 4 kids, and 4 kids, Eric, it can be expensive. And so
hell yeah, we got 2.
Basically,
and we're like,
I work. Yeah, basically I work for the tuition is what my paychecks go to. Yeah. And so about, 5 years ago or so, one of my good friends was working from home doing customer service, like the infomercial calls you call and order stuff. And she made really good money doing that. And so she got me into that. And so I was working for this company for a while, and I would take calls for mostly Proactive and the skincare stuff. Okay. And then, I would do all that. I mean, I did calls even for insurance. People would call and get quotes for health insurance or life insurance. And so, I mean, it was a really good job, and I really liked it, but they pay per minute instead of per hour. Okay. And so if you're logged in, well, this is how it is with Night Flirt as well, but I don't have a problem of no calls with Night Flirt. So anyways, so back to the customer service, if you're logged in and you're not taking calls, you're working, but not working, and you're not getting paid. And so you're sitting there and you're like, okay, your time has been spent. So maybe I logged in for an hour and I only got 30 minutes of pay. You know what I mean?
That sucks.
But anyway, I stuck it out, off and on, and especially around the holidays. And so I have experience with a couple jobs actually working from home legitimately. Now, I hope my phone sex companions or fellow phone sex workers don't get mad when I said legitimately, but I mean I
was going to say that's legit.
That's legit.
Sex work is a thing. You're doing God's work.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. Okay, then what is another word I could use then? Maybe
what, for sex phone operator?
No, for the other
legitimate?
Stuff
for the legitimate
mainstream. That's probably good.
Or vanilla.
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Vanilla safe work. Yeah, as far as for myself. Anyways, I hope you cut that out. Okay. So working, so I have experience working from home. Then about 2 years ago, my husband and I had a fight. I've been married for 22 years.
Nice.
I met him when I was 16 and got married at 19. Mm-hmm. And I love him to death. I still love him. But as you know, I think you guys have been married a long time.
Oh, yeah.
You have good times and bad times, and maybe even good years and bad years.
Yup.
There's times when you are just madly in love with each other, can't get enough. And then there's times when you just kind of want to bury them in the backyard.
Totally been there.
Like, you're very excited about the bad times, babe.
I like when other people say it, because when we talk about it, a lot of people don't believe us. They don't.
Oh, my word.
Us. You know what
it's
I mean?
So crazy. Because, I'm happily married. I feel like I'm happily married. But there's been times where I just can't stand to look at him.
Sure. I've been there.
It feels like you're there right now.
No, well, there was a time in our marriage where it was like roommates for a couple years. This is a long time ago before we had kids.
It happens, especially when you have young kids. It happens because you get so busy being a parent as far as the mom, being the woman. Melissa, I don't know if that was ever with you, but it's like you get so busy just being mom, you forget to be the wife.
Oh, we talk about that all the time. You wear 3 hats. You got to wear your individual, you got to wear your parental, and you got to wear your spousal. It's like you're 3 different people and have 3 different roles.
Do you remember that movie, Michael Douglas and now for some reason my brain is not working. Kathleen Turner or
Catherine Zeta-Jones?
No,
that's his wife, right?
Kathleen Turner. It's called War of the Roses.
Oh my God! Yeah, that movie. I remember watching that at my grandma's house, and I'm like, "Why the hell are you letting me watch this?"
My best friend and I, we just love that show. She actually, unfortunately, did just go through a divorce, but her situation, her husband was he was a gaslighter, like he was abusive mentally to her. So she left him finally. Good. But we used to joke about how there's a scene where she tells him, when I look at you, I just want to punch you in the face or something like that. When I watch you eat and you sleep, I just want to, and it's a joke. Please, no offense, Chris.
No, no. I think I've actually
it's a joke
punched
that
him in the
there
face.
have been times when I have felt really strongly that way. Mm-hmm. However, I couldn't imagine my life without my husband. Sure. He is my best friend in many ways, and he's my life partner. We have kids together, and like I said, I met him when I was 16, so we've grown up together. So,
and you don't find that a lot. So I think you and I are a lot alike, because every time that you say something, I'm just over here nodding my head, 100%.
Well, I'm not going to say we're gonna end up together forever. I hope that we do, but our thing from the very beginning was we both came from broken homes, and our thing was if we get married, it's for life. It's a contract. It's a covenant. It's an agreement. We're not going to just have an argument and fight and be like, I'm leaving you, so I want a divorce,
It's work for sure.
And so we just, throughout all these years, we just don't bring up divorce. It's just not it's not even an option for us. So personally, that's for us. Now, if there was abuse going on, see you later.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so that's why. Anyways, so back to your questions, because like I said, I ramble.
That's good. This is audio. That's good.
But yeah, did I answer your question? I think I did.
Yeah, you were saying
how I got into how I got into the industry. So being married. We had this huge fight, and he has always struggled with. I guess you would 99.999% of men struggle or have some sort of porn addiction, especially with it being such easy access now. Mm-hmm. Some guys have to have it, and some guys, here and there. Mm-hmm. But we were in our first 15 years of our marriage in a very religious, I guess you'd say religious, but we were really involved in our church, and we still are, but we've since left that particular church because it was kind of cult-like.
Oh, no.
Well, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. But, I was going to say, I just met you. I don't want to really start bashing organized religion right away.
No. So anyways, but it's just, we're from the South. You guys are from the South, so we're from the South, and, it's not like expose and talk about sex and sexual things. And then, like I said, I met my husband when I was 16. So to be honest, there's so many things that we explored together, through the years. So basically, I didn't understand his, needs and desires for porn. And I was offended by it.
Okay.
And I thought, well, maybe I'm not good enough for him, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty common.
So,
I'd say that's
but
common.
and it's something that he would always hide. And I would tell him that, honestly, I wish that I would tell him, the couple times that I, quote, caught him or whatever, I would say, if this is something you struggle with, why don't you come to me and tell me, hey, look, I'm on it a lot, and I need your help. Will you help me through this or whatever? Just talk to me about it. But he was always hiding it because of the way he was raised.
Okay.
And
that's what I was going to say. I was going to say we're all pretty old school. So like, we didn't. I mean, that's kind of like something that you kept in the dark. I mean, like nowadays it's more mainstream, like you said, because of the accessibility. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's no big deal. These kids grew up with the internet now. So I mean, like
we had to watch through squiggly lines on TV.
We've talked about our struggles before. You had to hope. You had to keep your fingers crossed that some
Cinemax,
kid had some uncle somewhere with a box in a closet. Like we were analog.
Yeah. Looking at the JCPenney catalog and shit. Looking at
you did what
underwear.
you had to do.
I was looking at bulges in the men's section,
which I still think is ridiculous, but okay.
Girls have needs too.
So not to get into like too much personal stuff, but basically a year or so, well, I don't know, however many years ago, he had that going on. Mm-hmm. And then our sex life kind of just, I don't know, there was other things going on that I'm not going to go into, but we just kind of really had a bad year.
Sure.
Marriage-wise. And come to find out, he was like chatting with women via email. And at the time, I was just like devastated when I found out because, we had this little bubble and I just wanted to stay in my bubble. Uh-huh. And it's so funny because of what I do now, but
I can understand.
I was thinking that's ironic.
Well, I mean, I understand the initial shock because she had just mentioned like she felt like maybe she wasn't doing enough for him, and I think that depending on if you're calling somebody for like sex talk, I think that's different than being like emotionally involved with somebody.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
That's what I was
let
going
me
to
tell
say
you,
too.
Depending on the
happened.
context, yeah.
Yeah, well, this is what happened. I found out during that year that he was not only talking with, like, it was like I caught him with, emails or whatever with women that he met on Craigslist, and he was just whatever, show me your pictures, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And, but then like 6 months or so after that, I found out that he was texting his ex-girlfriend.
That's where it gets
hairy. And now listen, he was 19 and I was 16 when I met him. So this was like his first love, like his first girlfriend. So I was so devastated because I know their history. This was the girl or the woman or whatever, but this was the girl that his nephews, when I met him, would call me her name.
Oh, no.
On accident, because we were both blonde and very similar. We looked alike, similar, because he has a type.
Sure.
So, I was very hurt. And then he promised that he was sorry and that he didn't know what he was doing, blah, blah, blah. Or, that he didn't realize what he had. And then, I had forgiven him and it was over. And then like 3 months after that, I found out he was still doing it. And it was like sex texting. Like it was,
With her?
And so I was really hurt with her, Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, that adds a different layer.
Something I probably shouldn't have done, but I went a little cray-cray. And I went on Facebook and I was like, this is a whore. I just called her out. I was like, this is my husband and you're a whore. Uh-huh. And I like tagged all her friends and family. And
that's kind of awesome.
Terrible.
It is kind of awesome.
That's kind of awesome.
But at the same time,
because she knew he was married.
That's
like she's single because she's divorced, but she knew that he's married. She knows. So she was more wrong, I think. I mean, he was wrong, definitely.
Sure.
But she was like, I know you're married, but hey, I'm going to still come after you or whatever.
Oh, you have no idea how parallel this is to our lives, but I'm the you in our situation because like I can count no fewer than six times, okay, more fingers than I have on one hand, that people have tried to infiltrate our marriage, both exes and, you know, just single fucking dudes that were trying to break a piece off, you know, like it's tough. It's tough out there.
I was naive for a long time because I'm like, oh, they just want to be my friend. And he's like, no, they want to fuck you.
Like, don't you understand? I was that friend.
As a girl, I think women, we ourselves, we don't get it the way guys do. But yeah, he's right. They wanted to fuck you.
Yeah, It all came out in the wash later, and he was 100% right. And I never put myself in another situation like that again.
And I've never been 100%
you know, not
right
to throw him under the bus, because, you know, we are going to get back to me being a phone sex operator. But he does not know about that, by the way. So, yeah. So basically, it was like we had that year, you know, horrible year. And then we had a fight and something happened. And it was just one night about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, that I was like, fuck this. If he can do this all night long and chat with people online, you know, because he wasn't talking to her anymore, but it was still, it was raw, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, I am going to see what the hype is. And so do you remember a few years back when Ashley Madison was like all in the news, you know, because
dropping all those names and stuff. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I Googled Ashley Madison. I would have never really been one to go online and do this kind of thing, but I've always loved my erotic literature, but that's another story. So, so I Googled that, and then I was like, I'm going to sign up, you know? And so I began conversing with a few guys online, whether it was Ashley Madison or Kik, or like, I didn't even know what Kik was. Like, I was so naive, like at the time. It was about probably 2 years ago, and Snapchat and all that. And so, and I got caught.
Don't even get me going on Snapchat.
I didn't know what I was doing. So and so I did all these things with these guys and started, you know, having a good time.
Sure.
And then I got caught. And then I stopped. And then I started again. and I learned how to be really, really good at hiding it.
Yeah.
I'm very, like I said, I'm pretty tech savvy. So basically the phone sex thing, I'm so sorry that this has taken so long to get to your answer.
No, this is good.
But the phone sex thing started because many guys, like quite a few guys, would tell me how much they love my voice, especially when I do like the sexy voice, you know? And they would say, you could get paid for this. You should get paid for this kind of thing.
Wow, okay.
And I was like, that's not a thing. You know, that's so funny. You know, I thought they were joking. Like I said, I really didn't realize that it was, you know, a thing that people did in America anymore. I don't.
Sure.
Like I said, I'm still a little naive when it comes to the ways of the world.
That makes sense, though, because I mean, like, the new wave is like cam girls. Like, everybody's a cam girl now.
Yes,
so.
now, I know there's that.
Yeah.
But I
some
didn't
guys
think
might
just
not
phone
want
sex.
them to see them either, and that's where the phone comes in, because, I mean, you might be saving some guys' lives, to be honest.
I'm sure you are.
Just because maybe do they just call to sex talk, or I mean, sometimes do they get personal, like with you, and then talk about their lives? So it's like sometimes. Oh, do you ever get
let me see how to answer that. Yes, and yes, and yes. I have some guys that just called to, and not so many words, bust a nut.
Yep.
And I have actually, but more of my regular callers, and I have a lot of regulars. They seem to like me. So they want to just be friends. Sometimes they'll call me and just talk for 30 minutes about everyday stuff, and then we'll play for 30 minutes. That's what I call my naughty time, is playing.
Like
it's that girlfriend experience, you know. It's probably guys that don't have that, you know, connection in the real world that are calling. Because I mean, like, we've watched a lot of shows together too. You know, about like, you know, cam models and whatnot. And
there's some on Netflix if you haven't checked them out.
Well, what I was gonna say was, like, you know, like the one, she was like, they almost call me like I'm their therapist. You know, they call me and they talk to me and they tell me all the problems. I actually have guys that call and
ask me for advice.
Yeah.
Like on their careers.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, like, they just talk to me like, I guess they seem like, or I seem like I'm intelligent. So they call me and they'll, you know, be like, you know, well, listen, I got this job offer and this, and that. And, what do you think I should do? And I actually had one regular caller who I really enjoy talking with. He called me about his girlfriend because he felt like she was ignoring him, and they're like long distance and stuff like that. And she was literally like ignoring his texts for days. And he was like, what should I do? And I'm like, she is using you because he has a lot of money and makes really good money. Yeah. And I mean, come on now, Melissa, we're girls. We know. Okay. Sure. If a girl likes a guy, we are not going to go 3 days without returning his text. You're not going to do that.
But, and then but on the flip side, though, y'all like to play games sometimes.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But apparently this is something that she does often, this girl or whatever, with him. And he's told her, you make me feel like you don't care. And so anyways, but yeah, I'm the therapist. I'm a therapist. I'm a phone sex operator. I am a girlfriend online. I'm many hats online.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's. It sounds like it's been pretty lucrative.
It is. I could tell you what. If I was not teaching, which I'm going to continue to do because I actually really love teaching, and if I made this a full-time job, I could easily bring in $500 a day.
Holy hell!
Now,
Night flirt, you say?
Hey, I've heard your voicemail
let me
from
tell
work,
you,
babe.
on a good day for me is $150 to $200, and I don't get those days very often only because of my time schedule.
Yeah.
I don't have the time for it. But on the few days that I have just devoted like 5 hours, like let's just say 5 hours, and for some women on Night Flirt, I guarantee you the ones that have been there a long time and they give every caller exactly what they want and they charge more than me, they probably make $500 in 2 hours. But damn. I am very specific with who I talk with, which we can get into as some of your next questions. But if I don't feel that connection, I just block you.
Okay. That actually was one of my questions. If it was just like you're standing by and like the phone rings and like you take it, or is it like there's like a vetting process or like a screening process and you have the thumbs up, thumbs down?
Chris, so basically, Night Flirt is really amazing about having a set rule, like certain rules. Like there's some certain subjects and topics that is not allowed. So because Night Flirt has these guidelines and these rules, and each flirt and caller, when they sign up, has to read and agree to these terms. Oh, let me tell you, not all sites have this. It is amazing for flirts, for what we call ourselves flirts, the phone sex operators that work for Night Flirt. And so it's such a big help because that way we don't have to do so much screening, like you said, for the weirdos. No, right. I'm sorry. I hope I don't offend people out there who listen and who want to call me.
I wouldn't want to talk to a weirdo.
I do not. I'll just tell you right now. I follow Night Flirt's guidelines and rules. So if they want to know what they are, they can go online and read them. But basically, no kitties and children, and no animals, and no bathroom play.
Oh, what?
Oh, wow, okay.
There are some weird fetishes out there, and hey, to each his own. I'm learning not to judge. Some people want to be peed on. I don't know, but I am not into that.
Yeah,
no, for sure.
It's 2019. People are getting weird, man. Everything's been done.
Oh, there is so much. I have learned so much this past year. Some of it I wish I could unlearn. However, as far as the guys and the callers that I talk to, most of the time I let them know what I'm into. If they call me and start talking about, okay, here's my biggest problem and where I could make more money if I chose to do this. There are so many guys, Melissa, that want us women to dominate them.
Yeah.
I mean, that is where the money's at. So these women who are making serious money, it's because they are taking these men to the bank.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes
and they
literally
want to be
too.
taken to the bank. Though.
Sometimes
they want
literally
that.
too. Like they call and they ask you, like, here's my bank information, like here's my wife's
Yes,
contact information. I want you to like basically like ransom me or like threaten to
blackmail. They want blackmail. Yes, I get a lot of calls for that. But it's just like I've even tried doing the dominant, like, I'm the dominant woman and you're nothing, and I'm going to like put my heel on you and, walk all over you. And I can be dominant to a degree. I enjoy the back and forth. I guess if I was in the BDSM world, I would be considered a switch, but I do lean more towards being more submissive. Okay. I like alpha men. I like an alpha.
Okay.
So when I get callers that really, really want to be dominated, if it's something that I feel like I can do and play and we can go back and forth with, I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But if it's something where they really that's all they want, and I'm not really enjoying myself, because I'm not really honest, to be honest with you, I don't do this for the money. I do it for I don't know. I do it for all kind of reasons. But
you like it.
The money's nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get to get my nails done, my hair done.
Nice.
Go shopping, maybe. But if I'm going to spend my time, an hour out of my day or 2 hours out of my day talking and having phone sex, I want to enjoy myself. So
sure.
If I'm not connecting with someone, I'm just not. Now, what I used to do is hang up. Like if they would get really like the weirdos when I was on another site, I would just hang up. Mm-hmm. Now, the guys now, I just tell them, listen, this isn't really my thing, but I know of a couple flirts that are really awesome. So if you want me to refer you to them, they are like amazing, and they'll help you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really a dominant, and I'll just tell them that, because most of the time they'll message me first.
Okay.
Like they can send me like an inbox message, and we'll communicate that way for the most part. Sometimes I'll get just a random call, but for the most part, and I'll just tell them. And I've had a lot of guys just tell me, "Hey, look, you just are really great. Thank you so much for being honest and open, and not trying to just take advantage of me." And so. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not like this amazing person and this great flirt out there. I just try to be myself.
Sure.
And apparently I'm doing a pretty good job. I have, if like I said, I know that the money's out there. If I wanted to, make this a full-time job, I enjoy getting online and experiencing and talking and fantasizing, and it's just fun. Yeah, it's a way for me to explore some of my own fantasies that I haven't been able to share with my husband.
That's one thing I was just going to say is, like, are you like just naturally like an openly sexual person by nature? Like, is this like, giving you something as well as giving them something? But I mean, you kind of answered that for me.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. I am a very sexual person, but it's like hidden. Like nobody would know that. Nobody would know that who knows me. I am the good Southern girl, the church-going wife, the PTA mom, the teacher, the, dare I say, Sunday school teacher.
I think you're just generally just an outgoing person. I think you and I have a lot in common in that respect. So you don't have to be like, you don't have to try to be a flirt. It's just something that comes naturally.
Well, and dudes are stupid too. So if you're nice to them, then you must want them.
I know. If I'm nice to you, I'm going to suck your dick.
Yes,
That's how it works.
I fall into that myself. Oh my God, you smiled at me and you're talking to me? Where's this going? Where's this? What's happening?
Yeah, and that's something I didn't know. I was pretty naive for a really long time.
Same.
My husband would always tell me, you guys were just totally flirting. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. At wherever I was. I want to say my brother's first wedding, he got divorced to her. She was a hoe. But anyways, at his first wedding, her dad was apparently hitting on me.
Oh
and his wife was like right there. And now I still don't see it I still don't really see it, but I guess now knowing what I know, maybe he was flirting. Okay. Maybe he's a natural flirt. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like I was flirting back. I was just being nice.
Yeah.
But apparently that's how a lot of guys take it.
It totally is. I'm here to tell you that's how it works.
If we smile at you, do you think that we want to drop to our knees?
100%.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then when you don't, then I get upset. What the fuck? Why are you leading me on? I saw you smiling.
And he's like, well, now my dick's hard.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm like, I'm sorry. I'll just want to talk to you.
I know. It took me a long time to realize that. But even in marriage, like my husband, sometimes he's like, why don't you just come up to me and start kissing me? And I'm like, because you'll make me want to get up. You will tell me to get on my knees. You will. See? I can't just go up to you and kiss you and then walk away.
Thank you. I'm not the only one.
No, like seriously, I want to just kiss.
See?
Maybe walk up to you and make out like we did in high school. He's like, no. Come here. Let's finish what you started.
Right.
Sometimes.
Like I can't
come on.
Dude, I this morning I rolled over and just wanted to cuddle. This morning, just wanted to roll over and cuddle.
Yeah, you just wanted to cuddle, but you stuck your ass right against my dick. What's
comfortable?
What signal is that sending?
It's like fitting two pieces of a puzzle together. That's just
Precisely.
where my butt fits.
Exactly.
And then he's all like, "I could eat your pussy before we get up," and I'm like, I was like, fine. But
fine, I guess.
Fine.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's not
and
what,
then at the
that's
end,
not
you're
what
like,
my intention was.
That was pretty fun.
Right. He even told me because I was like, because I had to get the kids ready because we dropped them off this morning. And he's like, how many people would you know would say no? And I'm like, well, I was like, okay.
Gotta peer pressure my wife. You know, like, this is normal, life. Though. This is 20 years of marriage. All right. This is what we're doing here.
I'm just glad I'm not the only one that feels that way.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Do you like a little comedy in your sports or a little sports in your comedy? Do you want to listen to a sports show that's more like hanging out with your friends for an hour than it is like listening to the talking heads at ESPN? Well, tune into the Inner Circle Sports Show, a weekly dive into the latest news and notes from the sports world, fantasy sports and gambling, and lots of left turns into nonsense like you'll hear in this next clip.
Bro, try accidentally smoking fucking peyote for 6 months and then fucking come talk to me, dog. I thought I was stuck in a fucking perpetual state of deja vu for fucking 6 whole months, dog. I went to a Yankee game and I was freaking the fuck out. I was like, watch, Brett Gardner's going to get up. He's going to fucking hit a double and leg it out, or hit a single and leg it out for a double. He's going to hit it out the fucking left field. And then it did happen, and I was like, oh no, what the fuck is going on? But meanwhile, as Riley will tell you, that is just some regular ass fucking Brett Gardner shit. That shit happens 9 times out of 10 in 2009 when he was fucking on fire.
I'm still tripping on accidentally smoking peyote. Like, that seems like a very intentional fucking action.
You're sounding real fucking judgy right now, and I need this to be like a little safety net.
Inner Circle Sports, presented by the Inner Circle Podcast Network. Search for Inner Circle Presents on your favorite podcast app, or check us out on the web at innercirclepn.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
Yo, this is Joe B.
And this is Billy C.
of the NE Podcast, and you're listening to the Hashtag No Offense Show.
Fuck Florida.
Only on the Inner Circle Podcast Network. Fuck Tampa.
Well, and that's one thought I had too, was that like at the end of your time, like, you know, you're putting in some work and you're putting in some hours. When you're done, are you just like over it, or is it like, okay, when's he coming home from work? Because I need to jump right on him, you know?
I need to release.
Like, is it working you up, or is it like at the end of the day you're like, I don't even want to think about it because it's like work for you?
No, I'm going to be honest with you, and maybe it's because this is not my full-time job. I don't know how other women are, but do I orgasm on every call? No. Do I connect with every single caller? Most of the time I do, because I don't know, I've been pretty lucky about having some regular callers, and anytime I show that I'm available, they hurry up and call me.
Oh, wow.
I guess they get an alert or an email or something
Probably.
that says that
You're
Kara's
online.
online. So I literally, they call me immediately. I rarely ever sit around for more than 10 minutes without getting phone call.
Well, that's ideal, because you've got like, you know, like a community or a following around you, rather, you know, so like you've cultivated your own people.
Do.
That's, and like if I'm doing it, that would be ideal. I haven't really
even tried that hard, especially except for the last 6 months is when I started. But yeah, I do. So not to get off track, to answer your question, I feel like most of the time I am ready for hubby to get home. However, there have been a few times, you know, because we're fickle. We're not like you guys. We're not horny 24/7. We go into different modes, you know, mom mode and wife mode and sex mode and whatever.
Yep.
And so there's a couple of callers, probably 2 or 3, that I consider regulars that I actually really look forward to when they call me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because they've shared a picture and I know what they look like.
Okay.
And they're super hot. I'm not going to lie.
That's awesome.
I'm talking like what? And they're alpha, which is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dominant. And I have one guy that I'm so glad that we don't live close to each other.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a couple of guys too that we've really connected. There's a lot of older men call, as you would probably expect.
Sure.
And a lot of older men who are married. And I really enjoy talking to them, like both this play naughty time and just the genuine conversation. And I look forward to when I get to talk to them. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I answered that or not.
I think so. Because I'm relating back to in the beginning when you said that he was struggling with like, a porn addiction and like he was always wanting it. So this seems like that this would be like a good side effect. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That like if you're getting your engines revved up and then he's coming home, I mean, it's like, he's getting what he wants too.
It is. Bear in mind, we have teenagers in the house. So we have to be very careful. We don't get to just go have sex anytime we want to like we used to. Right. Back in the day.
Hey, I'd prefer teenagers. We got little kids, and they just barge in. They kick the door down like the FBI.
I'm like, make sure you lock the door.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But when they're little, like little, you could do it in like if they're a baby, you can fuck in the same room and they don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But if they're 15 and mom starts moaning.
Right.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Put on your beats, son.
That's kind of like my trauma, like my fear, because of the fact that this is just, my mom's not alive anymore, so I can't embarrass her. And honestly, I would not be doing this interview if I thought anybody in my actual world would hear this, because they don't know it about me. So, but anyways, my mom was a little bit of a hoe. Mm-hmm. I love my mom. I miss her to death, but she actually struggled with bipolar disorder, and one of the what did it call symptoms of bipolar disorder is a high sex drive and not thinking of consequences. So she would bring guys home, and I can remember being, I can remember with my boyfriend when I was 13 and 14. I was probably 15, and he came over, and we were sitting outside of steps and just like hanging out and talking. And I hear my mom having sex in the room, and he hears it. And I'm just like red and just so mortified. Yeah, seriously. And then I actually ran into him like about a year ago, and we were just joking about whatever. And he said, yeah, I remember your mom moaning in the next room. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's funny.
So that's like my fear, is that my kids ever hearing me have sex, like ever. So I don't know how I got onto that topic, but basically we both want to have sex, and we'll both be ready to go. But as you know, as a parent, you don't get to always run off to the bathroom.
Well, sure.
So we have to maybe wait till they go to bed, that kind of stuff. But yeah, as far as his porn thing and his sex drive and my sex drive, I think that's basically kind of the question you were asking in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
I would say that yes, this phone sex thing has really helped for me, because it's helped me to be more adventurous. Like the person that I was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, I would never have believed that I would be a phone sex operator. Seriously, because I just thought that would be so wrong. And honestly, I get asked this question by even callers sometimes, do you feel like this is adultery? Do you feel like this is cheating? 5 years ago, I would have said yes.
Sure.
I mean, in a sense.
I'm going to be honest. I think in a sense it is, but
it's harmless.
For women, tell me if I'm wrong, Melissa, women will form an emotional connection. And I guess it's the same way with men.
Sure.
If I was like falling in love with someone online,
a problem.
And there was like that, I feel like that would be adultery for me, even if we've never had sex. That's just my mind. Now, the phone sex part, especially, I don't do cam. I just don't. I've had many callers offer lots of money and beg me. And I will tell you, I tried it once when I first started, and I got convinced by this really cute guy, this really cute caller. And it was like 5 minutes, and I felt so nauseous afterwards. Because of the guilt, I felt so guilty. Like, I felt like that was actually cheating. Like, even though we're, never touched each other.
Sure.
He saw me, and I saw him, and we moaned, and it was lots of, it was phone sex, online webcam phone sex.
Sure.
And to me, that was just a line I don't want to cross again, because I felt so guilty. And I know that how hurt I would be if he did that with another woman. So that's why I don't offer phone sex. Cam sex.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just stick to the phone. And most of the guys, I have actually convinced a couple of guys who were cam only. I've convinced them just by calling me that we can have just as much fun.
No, for sure. And I think maybe
that they'll call me back.
And I think that with you doing this, with you being a phone sex operator, I think maybe it helped you understand a little bit more with his porn stuff too. Like,
Definitely.
Totally
it really did.
It
helped me to understand that it wasn't about me.
Yeah.
In what I was lacking. The only thing I would have to say, and I'm being honest, is that because I'm closer to 40 and he is 43, almost 43, he's losing his sex drive.
Okay.
And I'm getting mine way, way better and way more.
I've heard that. I've heard that happens. That's normal. Because
when I was in my 20s, we were like, yeah. But then we had babies, and like in my mid 20s, or I say early 20s, I guess, whatever. We've been together so long, I don't know. We had a lot of. Put it this way, we had a lot of sex when I was 16 on up.
Sure.
Sorry, Mom.
That was us too, and that's kind of how the flip side perspective is we get a little frustrated because it's like, look, it used to be this way, and now it's not, and you're completely changing the rules of the game, and I just have to be okay with it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I completely understand. So, but we had a lot of sex, and we've always had a great sex life. We would argue about anything and everything under the sun, but when it came to our sex life, we had it going on. My kids would laugh at me if they heard me say "going on." Had it going on. Anyways, they say I'm so old. So, anyways, we never had a problem with that. But but then when you have babies and young kids, at one point I had 4 kids, 10 and under, or under the age of 10. It was crazy. And I was going to school as an adult to get my teaching license, to get my degree. So I was going to night school, and I was a mom. And so it wasn't that I didn't have a sex drive. I was exhausted.
Yeah, I could see that.
If I laid down, I was going to fall asleep. So, but now my kids are older, and my youngest is 10. My oldest is 18. He just graduated. And
that's awesome.
I have a 16-year-old and then a 13-and-a-half-year-old boy who has a girlfriend as of yesterday.
No.
Anyways.
That'll change tomorrow.
Yeah. So because, they're self-sufficient. For the most part, they don't even want to be around me anymore. They just want to go watch YouTube or play Fortnite or whatever.
Do you think that this helps you have, the talk with them?
Yeah,
it's been
hold
on
that
our
thought
mind.
For 1 second.
It's been on our mind lately.
Just to finish up, I did. I definitely have more of a sex drive now because I have the time and the energy, and because I think it's just normal. Women just get more horny when we get to be around 40. I don't know.
I think maybe because we have less responsibility as the kids get older, so we have more time to focus on ourselves, and maybe we're not as stressed out and have not as much anxiety, so then we can kind of focus on our sexual nature.
Melissa, I've also always been a very creative person. I've always written and read and erotic literature. I just love it. I've written a little bit.
No way, that's awesome.
I'm a huge Walking Dead fan.
Oh no.
We
were too.
Pre-Rick leaving the show. I
don't think we made it that far.
No, I had to tap out. It was too much.
I'm not even going to go there. I could have a whole episode, a whole podcast of the fact that Walking Dead ruined the entire show when Rick left. But anyways, and so I was like a year where I just did all this fan fiction because I am a huge Jeffrey Dean Morgan fan.
Wow. Okay.
That's Negan, right?
He's Negan. He's Negan.
Shit, I'm a fan.
but I was more, I mean, especially like, I'm going to be honest with you. I like a man with some meat on his bones. And so he's lost way too much weight. So now it's like,
yeah, he looks kind of gangly.
Yeah, he looks kind of sick. So I'm like, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, gain some weight.
I know.
But like, you know, him and Grey's Anatomy and a couple other movies I've seen him in, like what? So anyways, huge fan. So I wrote a lot of erotic fiction and fan fiction, like with him, and then I kind of started writing other things. And now I actually create stories on Night Flirt and I sell them as audios, and I do pretty well with that. So
wow, okay.
I don't know how I got into that question. However, I do want to go back to Melissa's question about the talk, or was that Chris?
No, that was her.
Because ours is 10, and with the internet and everything now,
we want
there. Yeah, we want him to hear it from us first. We don't want him going to school and hearing.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. However, having an 18-year-old. Okay, I have two boys, 18 and 14. Well, 13. Sorry, he's almost 14, and then two girls, 16. And actually just turned 11, girl.
Aww,
so we have filters on all their devices. Now I'm sure not the 18-year-old, you know, he's a man now. He's enlisting in the Air Force. He's leaving in a month. And
congrats.
Wow, that's awesome. We have a cousin that's in the Air Force.
I'm proud of him, but mommy's going to miss her baby.
Yeah, ours is stationed in Japan.
But, you know, sorry, I didn't hear what you just said.
So we have a cousin that's been in the Air Force a couple years now. He just came in from Okinawa for a little bit.
He was back home for a month last month. He
loves it.
Well, I'm excited for him, and I know this is good, but I didn't have any sex talk with him. We kind of let my husband did the talks with our boys, and I do the girls. I realized that I never, like, it didn't dawn on me till I think it was last week, and my daughter and I were talking about something, and she mentioned, yeah, Mom, you never actually had, like, the whole talk with me. And I said, what? And she's 16. Now, I lost my virginity at 15. However, I'm going to just be honest, and no, I am not naive. My daughter is a virgin, and she's never had a boyfriend. She's just a very shy and to herself girl. I've always been an extrovert and the whole 9 yards. And anyways, she particularly didn't really need to know until like right now. So we have just recently had the talk.
I was the same way. I wasn't into boys until 7th grade. I lost my virginity my junior year of high school.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Okay. And so now my 14-year-old son, he needs to talk like right now. So I told my husband, like, you need to talk to him right now.
I think boys might be a little different. It's easier for them to get aroused than I think that it is for us. Oh,
my word. Melissa, how old is your oldest?
10. He'll be 10 in November.
Oh, my word. I'm going to warn you in advance. 12 years old.
Get a black light.
Be prepared to wash a lot of towels.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I'll find some stiff socks.
Because
stiff socks.
I'm just very grateful that I didn't walk in on my son, but my husband did in the bathroom.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, with him, like, laying on the floor when the door wasn't locked. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Wow,
Lock
just
the door.
going for it on the floor of the bathroom, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's got all these siblings everywhere, so.
Right.
So anyways, basically, like I said, I'm so glad that they won't hear this. He would just kill me. So, but yes, the talk, as far as like my 11-year-old daughter, we've always talked to our kids about what's private and what's not, and, you know, strangers touching them, where their panties are, that kind of stuff, or underwear. And it's sad that we have to do that. But I mean, I've talked to my kids about that since they could talk or go to the bathroom on their own, you know. Because there's so many weirdos out there.
Yeah.
And so she believes that you can get pregnant from kissing, I think. So.
Man, if that was the case.
Now, but my other three, they all know about sex, especially from the internet. Even though we have filters, they have YouTube, and YouTube might not always catch everything.
Sure.
And so Yeah, I would say it depends on you and the child. I know one of my daughter's friends, she's 11. She's almost 12, but she's 11. That girl knows more about sex than my 13-year-old.
Wow.
I mean,
that's going to be the case with us too. I think our youngest is going to be
so it just depends on each child is different. You might need to talk to your 10-year-old like at 10, 11 about sex, and then the other one you might need to, might not need to talk to them about it, or vice versa until they're, 12, 13. But definitely by middle school, I think.
Yeah,
because if you remember middle school.
Oh yeah.
That's when
everything happens.
Yeah, that's when the switch flipped for me.
That's when, for boys especially, but then of course girls start getting their period, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's when everything changes. So definitely, I would definitely recommend having little mini talks in advance of the big talk, though.
Yeah, because
does that make sense?
Oh yeah, well they're 5 years apart. So when Luke was born, my youngest, and Logan asked me where babies came from when he was 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I told them that I told him an egg gets fertilized and a baby grows, and then he comes out of you later. But he doesn't need to know how the egg gets fertilized. So I figured there's different ways that you could talk to them about real life stuff without giving them the whole picture.
Yeah. Okay. And exactly. So my kids knew about the womb, because they would my older three, they saw mommy pregnant and the baby, felt the baby move and all that stuff. So yeah, we would do all that, but I just so happened to have C-sections. So I wasn't lying when I told them the doctor cuts mommy open and takes the baby out of her tummy.
Sure.
I didn't have to say all the other stuff.
Right. Yeah. I think my youngest one, he says that he came out of my butt. So we're going to keep it like that for a little while.
He can go on thinking that for a while.
He can go on, but my older
one.
That's
very normal.
He asked me when another baby was coming because he just thought he called it Baby City. So he thought there was a Baby City in my uterus and that once in a while a baby comes out. And I was like, no. Man. I said, nope, you're all I need.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Baby City.
And he's the smart one.
He's the smart one.
Fuck.
That's good, though. This is my goal in life as a mom, other than to hopefully turn them into good citizens. Sure. And I don't know how this turned into a parent conversation, and I do apologize.
We just talking.
We're just talking to you as a person. But, it doesn't have to be all sex operator stuff.
I know, right? What I mean? But as a mom, my goal is to hopefully help my kids grow into productive, members of society.
Yeah.
And to be happy and follow their dreams in life. But as far as my goal as their childhood is just to keep them as innocent as possible for as long as possible. Because when they grow up, you and I both know there's no going back. There's no unknowing when you learn something.
Yes.
And so as long as your child wants to believe that there is a baby factory or whatever, baby city.
Well, that's a good segue into this. Have you thought about against all odds, just on the off chance that one of them?
I don't know what you're gonna ask.
Yeah, I mean, what if one of them finds you, or one of their friends says, "Hey, I think I saw your mom online"? Because we'll just make it about us, and then I'll let you answer. We've got over 100 hours of audio of this show with me and the wife here talking about everything from A to Z and everything in between. I mean, her big break on the show was story about me going down on her and her farting in my face, and that's what launched her into this cult fandom on with our fans. So I mean,
I'm already a fan. Just saying that. Hashtag Melissa.
Yeah. So people have asked us too. They're like, what happens when the boys listen to the podcast? And we've talked about it, and I mean, they know that it's something that we do. I mean, our oldest, he said he's got friends at karate that listen.
Oh shit! I'm surprised he hasn't been there. Like, hey, I heard about your mom sucking all them dicks when she was 14.
Oh my god!
That was another thing. I mean, for a while we had a gimmick going on that sucking dicks. You had to eat a sandwich afterwards. I mean, that was her whole thing. She was sucking dick for healthcare. That was her tagline for a while. And I mean, we've
Hashtag
kind of
2020.
We've kind of evolved a little bit. We've moved through there a little bit. But. It's
funny
still
to
out
talk
there.
about,
You
right?
can
It's
still
out
find
there.
it.
my.
I just hope that when they do listen or hear us, that they're old enough to understand.
To think
Yeah.
that we're awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
it's
I know.
funny. It's
I have no
not
doubt.
always serious, and
Yeah, I have no doubt. I wish my mom did something cool.
But hers
you
isn't
know?
recorded, except for this episode. But like when you talk to somebody, you don't record the calls for security purposes.
Oh,
right?
no, I
See?
don't.
So
I don't.
She's not Capital One.
and she doesn't. I mean, she's
training.
Hey,
Equality.
no, listen. They have a couple sites that offer recorded calls. Like if someone wants to buy a session.
Oh, one that they talked
But
on?
I don't do that.
That's like getting your picture taken at the end of a roller coaster. Like you get to take home a souvenir.
Yeah, and you
Holy shit! I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's pretty funny.
Wow.
It is. Okay, so to answer your question, I have not allowed myself to think about it.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to bring it to your doorstep, but I mean it is in the realm of possible outcomes.
I guess I look at it as, like you said, I hope that maybe they're at least older and I can sit down with them. Hopefully, if this happens, they would be, already sexually active and understand hormones and sex. And I can say, this is just something mommy wanted to try. Because I don't know if I'm going to continue to do this or how long.
Right.
I might decide tomorrow that I don't want to do it anymore. I don't think I will tomorrow, but
at least you have the freedom to do that. You have the freedom to do that.
Yeah,
so
I can.
nice.
I can stop anytime. Can I go ahead and tell you guys? It's not really a secret, but my husband did find my Night Flirt account once. It was about 6 months ago.
How did that happen?
And
did he try calling somebody and got your voice?
I forgot to log out. I forgot to log out.
Oh man!
And I always use private browsers, and I delete. And like if it's on my phone, I delete the app. And I am very, very, very sneaky. But I guess somehow that night, I'm pretty sure I remember what happened is I fell asleep in the middle of the night or something, like on the couch. And then when I woke up, I went straight to bed and didn't think about it. Sure. And he checks my phone religiously ever since the Kick and Ashley Madison thing years ago, a 2 years ago. And so he's very jealous. And so he saw that and he was just completely like, he didn't even know how to talk to me. He was like, I can't even look at you right now. And basically, and I hate to admit this, but I am a really good liar. And so I just lied my ass off. And I mean, and then I do admit, I feel bad. That's the one thing that I don't like about this. And it's a lot of women can share this with their husbands, and I'm envious of that. I have to hide it. And I don't like lying to my husband. I don't. But if I'm honest, there's that rebellious part of me that kind of likes being sneaky.
Well, and you could do a lot worse things. I mean, being honest.
I mean, I could be a crack hoe.
Right. Or you could just be a hoe in general,
I could be out there selling it on the street.
Right.
But I'm just talking to guys and letting them jerk off to me.
I don't think
providing the service. I mean, like she said, I mean, like you could be actually, like stripping or,
Yeah, you could be doing all kind of other things.
Not that there's anything wrong with that either, but I mean, like there's
levels
to this game.
My word, in his mind, stripping would be like, oh no, he would leave me. He'd probably kick me out. Yeah.
Let's just be clear. I mean, like Dutch and I, we like to go to strip clubs together. Like that's something that we do.
We haven't been in a
while, but I mean that's something that we enjoy doing together as a couple. You go out, you have some drinks, you see some ladies, you mess around for a little bit, and you go home. I mean that's. I enjoy it. I don't see anything wrong with that. But society as a whole is so buttoned up.
It's an income. It's an income, and if women are doing it because they want to. I mean, I don't think there should be any. Honestly, that's a whole nother conversation. But I don't think prostitution should be illegal because if a woman is making that decision to use her body to make money, I mean, hell, I think they should legalize it everywhere, like it is in Vegas or whatever.
No, I
Nevada.
agree with you 100%. And I feel that if it was legal, there might be a little bit more to where there's not so many crack hoes,
child sex offenders and things like as far as the child side of it. Human trafficking, whatever. Hopefully, to me, if the government was like watching it and there were all these rules, maybe there wouldn't be so many children on the street pretending to be 18 or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I feel you.
That's actually what we joked about it. Like her thing was, she was sucking dick for healthcare. I mean, like that's where that came from. We were reading a news story that episode about, some other country that had.
I think it was Norwegian.
It was somewhere,
Norway or something, or Sweden.
They had a legalized setup where like it almost looked like a car wash. You like pulled into this little building.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, you pull in this little building in your car, and then the girls come out and you talk and you negotiate, and then you pull out. You're like in like a car wash building,
almost.
like a car. Yeah.
Oh my God!
We're like
wow.
That's like innovative,
safe.
like I bet there's the
sure
crime
the
is
girls
way
Yes,
down.
it does, but I'm just shocked that that's our world. But yeah, I don't know why I'm shocked.
I'm sure the girls are tested, so it's a safe environment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. In my opinion, as long as the woman wants to strip or wants to sell her body, then I am like, more power to you, girl, because
absolutely.
it's your body.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's when they don't have a choice that's wrong, of course. So, but anyways, I don't remember if there was a question in there or not.
I just like talking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
But I
don't remember, honestly, but I know we were talking, though, about my husband. I don't know. Anyways.
He found your Night Flirt account, and then he got mad.
Yeah.
Oh, he found it. And so I promised. I'm so horrible. Melissa, I promised my husband that I stopped, that I deleted it, and that I'm a good girl.
Did you show him that you were out there getting lucrative? You were like, I'm not just doing this for free. Like I've got like some income coming in. Like hey, this.
And when you get home, I'm ready to fuck. So what's the problem?
Yeah, let's make a pro and con list here. Like
I did try that. He is okay.
Jealous.
If I was to describe my husband, I would say a caveman that is like mine.
Okay.
You see, and I could totally relate, because I mean, like you and I have chatted, just personally, in preparation for this too. And I told you that I was very similar to that, in the past, and I could totally relate. And I mean, even to a degree now, I've just come to a point where I think I'm comfortable enough with myself and with how things are where, that shit doesn't bother me. Like if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So why am I worrying about things that are out of my control? But that's easier said than done too, because I do still have that caveman lizard brain in there somewhere, where you don't come, near my shit. This is my shit. You stay over there.
Right.
Hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
Aren't all men basically like just big toddlers? Like, don't take my toy.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But I've always been very open. I've never been like a jealous person at all ever, because I always
that's me. I'm just like, hey, I have the ring. He's mine.
Right. And if he's gonna go out and fuck around, then that's his burden to bear. That's what I told him. Like, that's your cross to carry, bitch. Because if you want to go fuck around on me, you're the one walking around with all the guilt. So if you want to go put your dick in something, then that's your prerogative. And I told him before, like if I found out that he had cheated on me and he went out and got drunk one time and he went out and got cheated on me or whatever, I think that would be, I don't want to say it'd be okay, but it's forgivable.
Well, you said it was okay the first time, because the first time you said that, you're like, I don't even think I would care. And I'm like, bet? Really?
It's forgivable. It's a forgivable offense, but the same reason that if it was the same girl over and over again, you formed an emotional connection, then that would be an issue.
Yeah. But
I've never been a jealous person.
For me too, yeah. But no, my husband is not like that. So basically, before I ever gave him cause to worry or be jealous, he's always just been very jealous. I mean, literally, I can remember walking in the mall when we were first dating, and guys would look and then look again and stare. Because I've always been well endowed, and so he would be like, "You got an eye problem, bruh?" That kind of
Oh my gosh, how funny. And I bet you fucking loved it though at the time, because I mean that shows that he's like an alpha male, which is your type, because he's like protecting his shit.
Oh yeah, but he was like, "What are you looking? You want to take a picture?
Yeah.
It would last longer." And so this is
so old.
This is when we were first together, and then even after 10 years of marriage, 15 years of marriage. He would be like, "You're not wearing that outside, are you? You can totally see down your bra. You can totally see all your tits."
Oh my gosh.
And I don't want guys looking at you. Like if a guy, I will be in like the grocery store, like in a yoga pants and my hair up in a messy bun and no makeup on. And he'll be like,
you're doing it
that
for me
guy
right now.
was totally looking at you. Are you looking at him? Did you think he was cute? I'm like, oh my God.
No, that's funny because that's when we get hit on the most is when we don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I went to Walmart before or Home Depot and I'm in the middle of a project and I'm all sweaty and I got paint all over myself and I get, hey girl, and I'm like, seriously?
Yeah. Yes.
Fucking trying.
Yeah, for real. Because I'm not the only one that likes this fantasy. The hot mom, the housewife thing. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That is a fucking thing.
That's a big thing.
Yes.
That's most of my clientele. So
I would imagine so. I mean, like,
he's probably going to be calling you later or tomorrow while you're online.
We'll go ahead and
he's
work out something.
downloading the app now.
Yeah,
we'll work on a discount.
Yeah, we'll work something out. I know you gotta.
No.
I know you're getting close. I know you gotta go. Do you have time to tell us, like maybe like a quick story about like, a crazy call or like your favorite call or like anything like just
and
like
I also
crazy
have to
that's...
hear. We have to hear your sex voice too before you go.
Okay, I'll do both.
Okay.
Yes. So I really was trying to come up with a great story, and I am probably going to end up laying in bed tonight or tomorrow and be like, "Oh, I should have told him this one."
Listen, that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. No, that's cool.
I cannot think of one as far as amazing, other than if you're listening, guys, I love an alpha male.
That's right.
Call me, let's play. I'll be your sub. I will let you. Anyways, so. I love dirty talk. So let's
that's a gift in and of itself.
Yes.
I love dirty talk. That is my
She's She's asked me to do it with her before, and I feel stupid when I'm doing it. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I ain't even going to try.
That's what my husband said. He says the same thing to me. He says he feels weird.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's because we're the mother of your children. That's what he said, something like that. And plus, you were raised to be a good guy. You know what I mean? So maybe it feels a little wrong
making some leaps,
talking
girl.
to your wife that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's I can understand that because it almost feels like you're disrespecting.
Well, but if we're asking for it, Chris,
right?
Well, it usually comes out. It usually like devolves into me like, you want this dick? You want this dick?
Yeah,
it's like something.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but it's like
but
that's not what I don't think that's what you're looking for, though. It ends up me being like overly aggro, like
aggro crag.
Maybe she wants that.
Hey, so. I mean, she's been known to punch me in the face a couple of times.
I think it's awesome that you guys can talk about this, though. So just to give you guys a shout out.
Listen,
you guys are pretty,
I appreciate
pretty
it
awesome. No, I can finish my story. I just wanted to tell you that it's awesome.
That
you guys can share this and be open about it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I do have a weird story. My weirdest caller. And I at first I was like, do I want to put this out there because then it might affect my business? Well, hey. I don't want this caller anyway.
There you go.
I don't want this type of caller. Like I said, there are many phone sex operators that are almost anything goes. Mm-hmm. For me, this is like, no. I had a caller last month who called me and wanted me to, he literally was telling me that he was in a diaper.
Oh. That goes against one of the rules though, right?
He sounded, well, there are the rules, but like we weren't talking about children, but this was one of those random calls where he didn't talk to me via inbox or messaging or anything first. So he just called and I answered. And he was telling me that he is sitting in his diaper and he has his bottle and he wants me to change his diaper.
Oh my goodness.
That is a tall order.
And I literally, I listened for a few minutes and, because he didn't start off right away with that. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I was just like, click. Because this is one of those times when I didn't want to be like, hey, listen, there's other flirts out there that can help you. No, you're just weird. I just hung up and then immediately blocked. Like, there are many flirts and professional phone sex operators who they give advice and say, never block because it's, you'll lose all this money and revenue. But no, blocking is my friend.
No,
sure.
You got
the right
of
because I don't want to keep getting called by these people.
Absolutely.
Right. And they're doing it for the money where you're the opposite. It's nice to make money for doing something that you enjoy and you want to enjoy it. So I respect that to you. That's
exactly. I want to go get my nails done. Oh, Christmas is coming. I'm going to work a little extra hard so I can go buy my husband and kids some great presents.
Yeah.
Like last year was pretty cool. It was nice to be able to do that and have that extra money. But if I don't, it's not the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't work this week, like last week, I didn't work at all. And it's fine because I don't have any bills depending on this, like some women do.
Yeah.
But it's anyway. So basically that call, it was one of those calls where I literally was like, did that just really happen? Like, did that guy really seriously, like he was like, I want to call you mama. It was just like, okay,
wow.
no.
What?
Yeah, see, and like we're not about kink shaming. I mean, like if that's your thing, do you, man.
I'm
but
not
like,
kink, yeah, and I'm not kink shaming. I'm
But
just
he
saying
brought
not
it to
for
you.
me.
Yeah, exactly.
He brought it to you. Yeah,
that
that's
is
where it's
not
different.
my thing.
That's what
and
Craigslist is for.
if they want that, they need to call another flirt, another phone sex operator. For me, I do have a couple of callers who I enjoy talking to them person to person, and I like who they are.
Yeah.
I've kind of gotten to know them through the last year, who they want me to dominate them. And so I do it for them because they don't want me to blackmail money them or whatever. And so, yeah, I can switch a little. And I've been known to do quite a good, in real life, quite a good striptease. And,
Nice.
so I can be a dom a little bit. But for the most part, I try to stick to what turns me on.
Sure.
And enjoy myself, like you said. Just
Well, yeah.
have fun, and if I make money at it, great.
And if you're enjoying yourself, then I think that gives your caller more of an enjoyable experience too, because they can feel that you're into it.
A lot of my callers, they will not hang up until I
you
finish.
tell them. Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah,
That's
face.
nice.
they want to hear me.
Sure.
Sure, her face.
And
just
I'm
lit
gonna
up.
tell you right now,
That's so
I'm not a
sweet.
faker, so I don't fake. So guys, if you're listening and I've actually, orgasmed on the phone with you, it's real.
It's the real deal.
Well, that's what's up. Hey, Kara, I know you got to run. We won't keep you, but thanks for taking the time and sitting with us today. We had a blast. We should totally do it again sometime.
Oh my word! It's just like hanging out with friends. You guys are already.
I tried to
You're
tell you.
awesome.
I tried to tell you.
Love you guys.
Oh, I love you back. This is great.
Why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners where they can find you?
So you can find me on nightflirt.com. I am Southern Seduction on nightflirt.com. I was previously Deliciously Sinful, but I changed it to Southern Seduction. On nightflirt.com, you just search Southern Seduction and you'll find me. And I have a couple of listings, and I might make one more for the custom audio thing that I mentioned. And as far as the phone number, you can call me. I feel like I'm in my sales mode.
No, do it.
You can find me at 1-800-2-FLIRT or 1-800-863-5478. And my extension personally is 1177662. I think I said that right.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Okay. And I am gonna hang up with my sexy voice if that's fine with you guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
do something for me. You're now listening to the hashtag No Offense Show.
Oh, let me try that. Hold on. So you've been listening to Kara, who is Southern Seduction on nightflirt.com, and you've been listening to hashtag No Offense Show.
Awesome.
Yay.
Call me.
Thank you. Yeah. That's right.
I could have done better, but I'm just in a silly mood now and probably need peanut butter for my low blood sugar. So.
I think you're awesome.
Listen, let me just thank you guys again, seriously, for inviting me. Honestly, anytime, guys. This was a blast.
Kara, thanks again. We appreciate it. So thanks for joining us. That's been Southern Seduction with Kara. We hope you enjoyed the show. This has been another episode of the hashtag No Offense Show. If you're a new listener, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know the Dutch does too.
Oh, yeah. I love you fuckers.
Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. We're available literally everywhere. Apple Podcasts. Give us a rate and review. Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. We've got good things on the works. Next week, we're going to be joined by the powerful Nick Hinton, as well as Jason Almy and Adam Simmons. We're going deep on the Saturn Time Cube.
I get the week off.
You get the week off. You can just chill out and
I'm just going to sit upstairs and play with myself while you guys do the show.
maybe give Kara a call. I don't know. Y'all can talk.
She was pretty cool.
So look for that one coming next week. Also, check out the entire Inner Circle. Like I said, we're doing some collabs with those guys coming on, and I think that you would, if you enjoy us, you would enjoy all those shows. So look for us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Inner Circle PN, InnerCirclePN.com, and you'll find ourselves, the hashtag No Offense Show, as well as Simmons and More, Shit Happens When You Party Naked, The Hood Diner, The Plunge, Any Podcast with Joe B, and Failing Hollywood, as well as original programming. We're bringing you original programming as well. Not just the shows.
Sports.
We got sports, Inner Circle Sports with myself and Riley and a rotating panel of whoever happens to want to jump on with us.
Last night was Joe B and Adam, right?
For a minute, and then they left.
Oh, what the fuck? Why did Blunt Mommy call y'all gross?
Because we are.
That's not true. Y'all are sexy.
We got the Slimmer Circle, which started off as a companion to our weight loss competition, and it's just become a thing of its own. So Jason and Christina are helping you lose weight and look sexy naked. We got Throwing Smoke, which is an MMA UFC show with Joe B and Uncle Randy. We got the flagship show that started it all, Comedy is Dead.
Yep.
Don't know what's happening with Comedy is Dead right now. We might be rebooting it and rebranding it in some form. We might not. I don't fucking know. But keep an eye out because we are always working on something. Yeah. So that's why you want to go on. You want to follow us on all these social media platforms so you stay abreast of all the things that are happening inside the circle. If you want to get us for the same reason, we are at HTNOS, literally everywhere, any platform. Search for those 5 letters and you will find us. HTNOS.com. Shoot us an email, htnos@yahoo.com, or call us. We're not going to talk dirty to you, but you can call and you can maybe leave us a dirty voicemail.
If you're looking for us on Spotify, what do you got to do?
You can search the Whatskis. Well, you know what? Actually,
Is it just Whatski?
I've changed that now. If you look for Inner Circle, because it used to be here. I mean, this is technical podcast shit, whatever. But the artist of our podcast was Chris and Melissa Wutsky, because that is us. We are the Wutskis. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
If you search for our last name, I'm willing to bet that we are the only Wutskis that podcast. So you will be brought to our show. We had an epiphany that if all of us changed our artist to Inner Circle, and you search for Inner Circle, it will list all of our shows together.
Oh, that's cool.
So we are all, if you search for Inner Circle on any podcast platform, you will be brought to the 7 rings of death.
That's
the
smart.
the 7-finger death punch. We got 7 fingers. We're genetically altered by the fucking rings of Saturn.
So that's a punch and an eye poke?
That's a punch and an eye poke.
2 eye pokes.
A punch and a shocker.
Shocker's 3 fingers, honey.
Well, we're working on the next show then.
Okay.
So give us a call. Leave us a sexy voicemail if you want. 813-773-5706. If you want to get at me personally, I am the real Wutsky everywhere.
I'm Duchess Wutsky on Twitter, and you'll see me as Diddlebug.
Yeah.
Diddle.
Take us out, Diddlebug.
Thank you for listening to the hashtag No Offense Show.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the hashtag No Offense Show. We're joined today. You know what? Actually, let me strike that because I didn't ask you. Is it Kara or Kara?
It's okay. It's Kara, like Karen, but Kara.
Well, then I win because I've been talking with our friend Riley from The Plunge. I think you guys have interacted a little bit on Twitter, too, and he's been referring to you as Kara. And I'm like, you're mind-fucking me now, dude.
Yeah, it's because of Supergirl.
Is that what it is?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're totally mind-fucking me now. Now I got to know.
It's just Riley.
Yeah. Because Supergirl was, I think her name is Kara. And so that's why people always think it's Kara, but it's Kara. So ask away. I'm an open book.
All right, I'm gonna start over there because
Okay.
I don't like the way I started there. See, this is why we don't do live.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I'm glad that you don't do live because then you can really mess up live.
All right, here we go.